I'm around here every day with these young men, talking to these young men about being great men and about giving back and making the most of this opportunity. So I don't focus on what they're doing as much as football is concerned, but it is really special. I enjoy it because anytime you work hard, anytime you put the time in and carry yourself the way you're supposed to carry yourself and have the type of leadership that we have from Coach Sweeney, and to see all that come together into a 13-0 season, of course, I can't help but smile, and that's what I do. I smile, I enjoy it. I praise our young men, I praise our coaches, because it's not something that people get to do every day and every year.
I remember you telling me before with that 81 season that you guys kind of win every game like, we're better than these guys. We know we're going to win. Do you get that sense with these guys? You're around these guys every day. Do you get the sense that, hey, they just feel like they're better than everybody and they know they can go win each game?
Well, I think more than thinking that they're better than everybody else, I think that they're confident in their own abilities. And anytime you're able to focus on what you do well, that also translates to the football field. It's transferable to the football field. And so I think that because they believe in what they do, that when they hit the football field, because they do it at such a high level, it's not so much about what their opponents do. It's more so about what they do, and when they do it well, then it turns into a victory. And the more you win, and this is one of the things that I said to our football team, hey, there's no question marks on your record. You're 13-0. So when you're undefeated, there's only one thing you know how to think about, and that's victory, and that's winning. And so I think that our guys have been approaching every game, and so we haven't played our best game every game, but because we believe we're supposed to win, it's translated into a victory, and that's special. That's better than having to be perfect. That's more enjoyable, and because we are flawed, we are gonna make mistakes. There's no one that plays a perfect football game or has a perfect season, but things can work out for you. And I believe that things are working together for good for this program, and I think it has a lot to do with the culture. I think it has a lot to do with our desire, Coach Sweeney's desire, to do things the right way. And when you do things the right way, then those good things and those special things, they happen for you. And so I'm just excited for our young men that they're having an opportunity to win. And yes, there are similarities, in the teams, but once again, I'm here to celebrate what they are doing. I've already celebrated what I've done, and so I want to celebrate what they're doing. And I don't mind being one of the individuals that I have two, and not just one.
What do you think made that 1981 team special that just allowed you guys to accomplish that?
I believe that we had great leadership from our players. I believe that our player leadership could get the attention of our football team the same way that a coach could, if not better. And I think that anytime that your players become an extension of what you're trying to accomplish as a coach, then I think the optimum is possible. And I think that that's what happened. I think that our leadership that year, we held our team, we held our teammates accountable, to the expectations, of what the coaches wanted. And we knew what we wanted. And I think that because of that carries over, not just football, but in that dorm where we eat, where we have a good time together. And so I think that when you have that constant and that consistent mentality that we're going to do things at a high level, then I think that it becomes natural. And it became natural for us to do things in an excellent way.
Who were the guys who stepped up as leaders on that team?
Well, that year, Homer Jordan, Terry Kennard, Jeff Bryant, Dan Benish, Danny Triplett. That was just so many players that we had on that football team. Perry Tuttle, that was serious and committed to being excellent. And I think that because of that, what was being coached was embraced at a high level. And when it's embraced at a high level, then you perform at a high level. And when you perform at a high level, it turns into victories.
You know what it's like to be in this position, being the #1 team, going to the Orange Bowl, knowing a national championship could be on the line. Have you given any advice to these players on how to embrace that moment?
Well, I've had an opportunity to share with our young men, and the thing that I tell them the most is that the relationships I made with that 1981 football team, it wasn't so much about Jeff Davis winning the national championship, but it was about his teammate, Jeff Bryant, Perry Tucker, Dan Bittich, Danny Triplett. I wanted them to win a national championship. And I think that because we had that kind of care for one another, that it translated into just us, playing at a high level. And so football is not about winning trophies. It's really not about winning championships, but it's about a group of men who can collectively come together and do whatever they want to do if there'll be one heartbeat. And that's what I talk to them about, man. Hey, if y'all keep that one heartbeat, then when you hit that field, you're going to perform with one heartbeat, and no matter what happens in the game, you're going to be together. And if you do it together, it doesn't matter if you got to overcome turnovers. It doesn't matter if you got to overcome mistakes. When you do it together, you can do it.
You were there then, you're here now. What do you think it would mean for this school to win another national championship?
Anytime a school wins a national championship, first of all, it thrusts you into the marketplace. Man, everybody's eyes on you. Everybody's talking about you. And so oftentimes athletics becomes the window to your institution. Not only will they find out about football, but they'll find out about our great engineering program. They'll find out about our communication program. They'll find out about our education program. They'll find out about Clemson University as an institution, and that we're not just athletics, but we are an institution of excellence in every way, that we're a top 20 institution, and we're striving to impact the world. And so those young, bright students, man, they're going to have an opportunity to look at Clemson University. Some may look at it, they may have never looked at it before. I think, too, that it's an encouragement. It's an encouragement to our alumni to continue to give and to understand what you're giving to. You're not just giving to something that is mediocre. You're giving to something that is first class. And you're giving to something that is still competing at a high level. And so I think it means a lot of those things. I think it means that we're working together, because you don't accomplish the type of things that we'll accomplish without working together. I think it says that our leadership is on the same page, that our athletic director, our president, our board of trustees, we're coming together. And because we're coming together, we're doing something special. And so we are being responsible as an institution to our young people. And that's preparing them to compete at a high level. Whether it's in the boardroom, whether it's on the football field, whether it's at home as a father, we are establishing those type of young men who can impact our society in a positive manner.
Is there any one memory, one moment from that 1981 national championship that stands out to you?
There were many things that stood out, many moments that stood out. But if there was one thing I think that stood out the most, is that we had a selfless team. And we understood that what we accomplished was bigger than just Clemson's football team. People always wanted to know where Clemson was. And, our whole thing was, do you know where Clemson is now? We not only play basketball in the ACC, we play some really good football in the ACC as well. But the big thing for me is that a lot of people didn't know where Clemson was located, didn't have any idea about Clemson. But when we left that night as the best team in the country, we introduced many people, a lot of people, an enormous amount of people, to a university that was committed to doing things in an excellent way. And the football team had that opportunity to open that door for people to see. So South Carolinians could be proud, could stick their chest out, if you will, and say we know how to do things at a high level. And that's what we were proud of. We were proud for our people. We were proud for the state of South Carolina. We were proud for our leaders at Clemson University. And we were excited for one another.